mental health is something which should never be taken lightly, and especially even to people who do comment, like be careful what you say because you never know what a person's going through. Hello.
Hey, what's up, Shaun? How are you, man?
How are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I am very good. Do you need me to wear a headset or is this perfect?
No, that sounds great. Sometimes I can't hear the other person, but yours sounds perfect, man.
Oh, great. Well, hey, thanks so much for having me.
Oh, of course. No, thank you. This is gonna be awesome. I'd love to hear your story. I mean, it sounds really inspiring, to be honest.
Oh man, that's nice to hear. Thank you for feeling inspired.
Anytime. So I'm Adam, and this is about you and your journey in music, and we'll talk about your new EP, which I've been playing all morning long. It's awesome.
Do you like it?
Oh, I really like it. No, I seriously like it. I really do.
Sick.
Yeah. I was just going through. I mean, I really like the first song, "Dear God," is awesome. But I was going through.
We're about to reach 1 million plays on "Dear God" on YouTube Music.
No way! Congratulations!
And it's my first solo milli, so it means the world to me.
That's incredible. I love "Heaven Like Mine" is the title of the record. Of the EP. That's a great song too. I mean, they're all good, to be honest.
It's just the beginning, you know. Like I'm just. I feel like I love music. I've been a lover of music for my whole life. Ever since I was a child, trying to play the piano, using like whatever came to mind as ideas and trying to play chords, not knowing what I was actually playing. Till today, I don't know how to read chords or notes or music. So it's just me jumping on the piano and putting my fingers on different keys and seeing what actually makes sense.
No, I find that fascinating with artists that either don't read music or like, have you ever taken music theory or anything like that?
Oh yeah, I got chucked out of class easy, like 3 months in.
Okay.
Being an absolute mess of a person, which I was. So like, in no way do I ever like not agree with the decision taken to have me not be part of the class anymore.
Yeah, no, because it's like I feel like I've interviewed other artists that say like I wouldn't be able to come up with these chords or this progression or certain aspects of what makes their songs unique because if you were looking at it, you know,
I have a big
box, it's
I have a big belief when people come up to me in Malta, because like even though I'm a nobody still in Malta, not many artists make it outside of the country. So like I'm seen as like successful for Malta, and I tell them like, oh man,
well, you are, man. I mean, well, don't be modest.
It's something I struggle with anyway. It's something I struggle with, and the one thing I tell them all, like, is the little I did has always come from the heart rather than from what something is meant to sound like or what something meant to go like or where something is meant to progress. I never believe in like having a formula or having a little like structure or format. I just always go in and try write something, and if it hits home, if it feels special, then I hit the money. I'm winning. And as long as I love the music I'm making, in a way, I know like, oh, everyone says it, but it's true. Like I find myself at night with my headphones, like closing my eyes and thinking I'm at some concert, Coachella, and I'm playing my new record. I was like, this is sick, you know, or like, and even when it comes to like my songs I have with Martin Garrix, you know, and obviously working on new stuff with him and seeing them being played to 70,000 people at Ultra 2 weeks ago was crazy. People recognizing me and showing me tattoos of my lyrics on their chest.
That's incredible.
It's crazy, and it means the world. Same thing happened with Dear God. Like I wrote that song about being away from my girlfriend and the struggles of long distance. Maybe I was a bit dramatic by praying to God to move, to get for the stars to align and a job to move her to London. But the way people relate to the lyrics for Lost people lost their children and their loved ones. You connect to people, and you see the thousands of people commenting and loving the song. It alone is so heartwarming, and it feels so good to have like interaction and people relating to music.
Yeah, I actually interviewed somebody yesterday, and they said something I thought was really interesting. It's like when they wrote a song or whatever, hearing other people's perception of what they had written and what it means to them. He was like, it's most 9 out of 10 times, it's like a way better story than the one that they had written, which I thought was interesting. Not saying that your story, like with Dear God, you're talking about how, it was about your girlfriend and being away from her and living in London. But then, somebody about losing children, like there's just this whole other perspective on your lyrics and the songs that you write.
The amount of
write their
loss
own stories,
which people expressed to the lyrics of Dear God alone was eye-opening. It made me start to dedicate the lyrics to that rather than to what I was singing about.
Right. That's what that's what this artist is saying. They're like, oh, this is a much better, deeper story, deeper meaning.
This means so much more now than what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's really cool though, to like be able to translate a message into so many different ways.
It's sick. And it's one of our gifts as writers. You write something and a person can say, oh my God, I feel the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Or I need this right now to express myself. Like, oh, it's like a form of therapy, really, It's
For sure.
It's therapy to those who listen to it and relate to it.
Mm-hmm. 100%. So are you in Malta now? Or?
Oh no, I am in London. I just came from holiday. So if you see me a bit tanned, is because I spent the past 10 days in the Caribbean.
Oh, that's exciting.
Living it up, having loads of rum.
There you go.
And actually, I'm not sure, have you ever tried rum? Rum is actually rum punch.
I've had rum. I don't drink anymore, but I used to indulge in rum quite often.
Really? How long have you been sober?
A year and 3 months.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm not a big drinker. I really hate the feeling of waking up in the morning and not feeling ready to go. And like
my problem was I'd wake up like that and then I would just drink again. You know what I mean? It was just this never ending.
Yeah, like it's like, oh, how do you cure a hangover? Get drunk again.
Exactly. And then it just became and then it was a problem. But hey,
you're here now and you look great, and I'm sure you.
Well, thank you.
You're much better. So
my family's a lot happier with me.
Oh, that's always. Isn't it mothers really sometimes? The mothers are the ones who are like always moaning.
Right.
About like, oh, like I remember when I didn't have my girlfriend, you want to have a relationship, you need a real job, settle down, calm yourself down, Shaun. Don't need to go out so late. Don't need to go out till 7 a.m. Why can't you get home at 2? I was like, because it's not fun.
Right. Exactly. So, well, you were born and raised then in Malta, right?
Born and raised, Malteser, proud.
How was that? I mean, I didn't know much about it, and I was doing research prior to talking to you. Yeah, beautiful island. I mean, I think it was St. Peter's Pool or something. I saw. I'm like ready to book a flight, man. I don't even know how to get there.
Let me know when you're there, so I'll make sure I'm there.
Oh, dude, I will hold you to that. It might be soon. When's the best time to come out there?
I got a couple of shows. Well, I shouldn't be saying this. Because they're not even announcing it. But I'll be in Malta a lot, hopefully, in the next few months. Possibly.
We'll talk after. But when's the best? What months do you come there? Like, what would you say for a tourist?
The summer there is always special.
So,
like, I'm trying to have some riding camps there, so I try and enjoy both riding music and content and stuff. And at
summer
the same
months is it? I'm so bad, dude.
June, September.
Yeah, okay, so it is the same summer months this year.
Maybe
it's the same summer months everywhere, but it's just colder in the summer elsewhere. I have no idea how that works.
I mean, Brazil, it will be winter in Brazil, because I met somebody from Brazil and he said that.
Yeah.
And it'll be hurricane season in the Caribbean, because I went to the Caribbean and they said that. So those are the two things. And Australia, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. More Australia, but I don't know if they consider that winter, or I don't know. Who
It has
knows?
to be. I mean, unless it's
Yeah,
opposite, say, oh, summer's so cold. You know what I
right.
mean?
That's what I was trying to
That
figure
that would
out. But
feel
it would
so
be
weird, right?
there's summer months would be the opposite of ours, which is just a trip to think about.
It's such a trip, and it's so weird. But
But
anyway, yeah, Malta. Malta's like, what can I say? Malta, you know what? No matter where you're from, no matter where you live, your hometown's your hometown.
mhm.
Your home base is your home base. Um, I feel like I remember that somebody at my team from my team told me, you will always have to, you'll always have your home fans rooting for you, and you always need to show them a certain level of respect, if that makes any sense, because
No,
those
100%.
people, those are the people who saw you um, turn from a boy into a teenager, from teenager into a man, and they're the ones who like when you go home, you're gonna see them. They're the ones who know you as Shaun,
Right.
primarily, you
And
know.
they've been there with you the whole time.
Yeah, and so I feel like Malta, the support Malta's given me has been ridiculous, and I owe them a lot. They shaped me. I grew up on those streets. I grew up on the same street with my grandmother, my
Oh,
mother,
that's
my
cool.
uncle, and my cousins. I also when we first all were born, we all lived in the same block of flats.
Oh,
Where
wow.
my cousin was next door to me and my other cousin was downstairs from me. So I've been raised in a really like families, everything like Christmas is the type of celebration where all the family comes together. Like we got all the group chats of everyone sending their baby updates and everyone sending their
Sure.
updates to grandma. And I feel like they all now have become music experts. Like all my mates are texting me. They check all the numbers. They're like, Shaun, dear God's gonna get 1 million plays in 3 days. I was like, aren't you meant to be working today? He's like, oh, I'm just like checking. They check every morning. I
I
see my
love that.
girlfriend, bro. My girlfriend, when she wakes up, I look at her. The first thing she does is go on YouTube, go on Spotify, and check what's happening. I'm like, guys, don't obsess over it. I've been told not to, you know, because it's why are you doing it instead of me? Like, let's enjoy the
They'll
process.
obsess for you, right?
Let's enjoy the fact that music is being released and success comes in different ways. Success isn't only numbers, and success isn't only like being the number one everywhere. Obviously, it's nice and it's motivating, but
Uh-huh.
the fact that I get to wake up in the morning and go to a studio and write songs is ridiculous. And I I set myself a goal the other day, where I'm like, my goal isn't to be the number one artist in the world. It's to never go back to being a real estate agent.
Oh, there you go. That's what you did
You know what I mean?
before?
To this. Not that I didn't love it, but I love music so much. It would just really suck if I have to be a
Return to
give it
that.
up again. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm trying to do.
Right. Well, with like growing up on an island like Malta, like must have been pretty small. Like, was your school small? Like, or did you grow up with like the same kids? And
Oh, we're still based till today. We're the same group chat we had.
that's awesome.
We were young, you know, same group chat, same mates. We meet in the same place. We we Malta's very much the type of country where it's same.
Hmm.
Nothing really changes. Like I've even gone back and my friends are still going to the same bars. My friends are still talking about the same things. My friends at the same time are the happiest I've ever seen them because they love the simple life, a life which I love too, you know. Like
Hmm.
as much as I love having my song being played to so many people and getting all the support and the excitement around me, I do can't wait. I also can't wait to base myself from there one day and keep on doing it and keep on traveling and having people come over to Malta and show the world Malta because I feel like nowadays you don't need to be in one place anymore. If
Hmm.
that makes any sense.
A
Nowadays,
hundred. No, yeah, for sure.
like you can be from all over. Obviously, when touring and shows come together, and music videos and some bits, you got to be everywhere. But I just want to live at the same time, and I want to keep on. I feel like my best music, to me at least, because I mean I feel like I always judge myself if that makes any sense.
Mhm.
Like I'm the
Well, you're your own worst critic, right? Most
for
people are,
me, like,
especially in the creative sense.
oh, I am the worst. I've listened to my songs and I scrutinize myself, and I literally like I I I take apart every song and look at every lyric and overthink it. Then I hear a song too much, and I start to think I hate it, and I change my plans. It's a never ending game. And if you have a bit of anxiety and you overthink a little bit, it's literally like a
Oh,
struggle.
it could be like torture, right? I mean, imagine we'll get into this with the EP, but like I remember speaking with artists that during the pandemic, it's like they had nothing else to do besides continually listen and critique and overproduce their songs. It's like if you have endless time to do something and you know, unless you're the type of person that can just put it away and then come revisit it in a month or be
It's
like, it's
tiring.
done, here it is. I'm don't even need to hear it anymore. I'm not that type of person. I'll sit there and analyze every little thing I do for endless hours and waste so much time doing.
I feel the same, and it's something I'm trying to improve because
Mhm.
my manager told me, think of the feeling you felt when you played your song the first time you finished writing it, and you're like, "Oh my god, this is insane!" Send it to my team. Oh my god, dude! Whoa, that's what everyone's gonna hear.
Mhm.
We've been listening to it for 100,000 times. We're sick of the mix
Right.
70, where isn't that synth or that guitar? Oh, is that note or that drone sound? We're sick of that, obviously, because we've not stopped playing around with the song for months.
Right.
But we need to let go. I feel like people need to start to let go a bit more. People need to trust the initial feeling you felt and go with your gut.
Yeah. No, I love that. And well, like, okay, so how we didn't even touch on this. How did you get into music originally? Do you come from a musical household at all?
Biggest story is my dad was in a band in Malta, and he was a great writer, pianist. Met my mum, and they wanted to start a family. My dad had the dream to get a record deal. He used to in the 1980s. He used to save up all his money and fly to the UK and try and knock on labels' doors, try to get the tapes listened to. But unfortunately for him, in a way, he decided that he wanted to like start a family with my mother. Thankfully,
Mhm.
because when I came, but he always, as long as I remember, there was always a piano in the house, and my mother always encouraged us to learn the piano. And I also went to drama, and I was the type of kid who just make sure nobody's looking, go in the mirror with my little wired headphones and really really thick iPod and dream of singing on stage. But my confidence levels were low. I It was at around 2014 where I had long stopped playing the piano because when I found out I had ADHD, and I was struggling at school, my mother was pretty worried about me like not getting through school. So it turned into like choose one thing you can do, and that was football. And then the rest of the time was me either in trouble at school or going to private lessons to recover from all the lessons I was just staring at the sky for, you know.
Mhm.
And music was absent there for a bit, which affected me. But then I remember going on a bus and I met my mate, and my mate just said, I just downloaded FL Studio and it's really sick. So what did I do? I went and I downloaded my own version of FL Studio and I started producing. Worst producer in the world, trust me. I was like, and what I've done was my original produced songs are on YouTube still. I never removed them, but I'm never giving the name of my old
Producer
DJ name
name?
because it would
Okay.
be like everyone would look at me differently. Um, uh, but yeah, I still wasn't convinced that I could sing. But I wasn't going anywhere with producing, and I met somebody who had said, "Your melodies are quite good, but your production is pretty bad. We should join together because I have no idea how to write chords, but I think I have a fair, good enough knowledge in sound design." And we joined this duo together, and we had this duo called Pegazi, which we had released one song on. on Selected, which is this YouTube channel, which now turned into a label. It's amazing to see how far that has come. But to be honest, that friendship went a bit sour. He had told me, which was in his right to do. Really like, listen, you're not doing much. You can't produce. He's like, so you should get into songwriting. So there I was, like, thinking, no, this guy's gonna leave me because I really am not pulling my weight. And I just bought a book called How to Write a Song. And that was 2017, 2018.
Mm-hmm.
When I started like trying to write songs and getting like into the idea of writing songs. And he say you can write songs, but your voice isn't good enough. So up until like 2019, I was never singing. I was just humming and paying people online on like Facebook to sing for me.
Wow, that's shocking because I was gonna say your voice is incredible. That would be the one thing I thought you were like doing your whole life, and then the songwriting came later.
My confidence was at my lowest. I think I was also going through a hard time with my mental health. By then, my anxiety was through the roof.
Mm-hmm.
I was overthinking everything. And when he told me my voice is crappy, I took it literally and just said, okay. So I was trying to find singers, paying them like $60, $70 per song to sing my songs.
Yeah, that's like the most devastating thing too. I feel like when somebody critiques your singing, it's like if you picked up a guitar. I've said this before. Like if there was a guitar sitting in the house and you just picked it up and you didn't know what the hell you were doing, right? And you just start smashing chords or doing whatever you want. It sounds like shit. No one would care, and you wouldn't probably care either. You're just like, man, it's screwing around. But if you open your mouth and you start singing and it's awful, or somebody tells you it's awful, that's like that's such more of an intimate like stab, because it's like, well, I can't really change the way my voice sounds, right? It's not like, oh, I can learn how to play.
I mean, I have nothing against this person. I will mention his name because I don't want to ever try and make him look bad. He had an opinion, and like it broke me. I believe that my career was over if I even left the duo. Mm-hmm. I was convinced that like this guy was my only chance at having any career in music. So I was at my lowest with anxiety, and he had even told me that he was considering trying to go on his own. So there was a couple of months where I was struggling at school, and I was like, what do I have to escape to? Like, I had nowhere to go. And that's when I started writing more songs. And I literally paid a mate of mine in Malta to go and sing them. And my mate's an incredible singer. I love him. But when we went to the studio, he wasn't singing the songs I was singing. I asked my friend in Malta to sing my songs for me. But when we went to the studio, he had a great voice, but something just felt off because he never sung those songs before. They weren't coming from his heart. So when he was trying to sing them, I was saying, this is not how I imagined them to be.
Uh-huh.
And it wasn't his fault because he's a great singer. It was more like they were my songs to sing at that moment in time. So what happened was, I remember the producer, Cyprian, who till this day I thank so much, turned around to me and said, get up, go in there and sing. You sung these songs. I can help you sound a bit good if you think you sound bad, which I don't think you do. He's like, and go in the booth and just bloody sing. And that was the moment I walked in the booth for the first time in my life and sung.
Really?
And I was petrified and I was rough around the edges, and I went back and I couldn't believe it. He's like, you sound great. And I was still saying, no. I still critique my voice. I hate my voice. Honestly, I'm going to say it. Every artist hates his own voice because I'm tired of hearing it so much. I hear it every day. You know, I sing every day. I speak every day. I talk every day. I hear my songs every day. I'm sick of myself.
Dude, your voice is so good. Like I said, I would imagine that was something that you could always do naturally. That wasn't the thing. That was the piece of the puzzle that you were the most.
No, man, it was like heavy because when that happened, it opened a door. I remember going to this seminar called Point Blank Seminar, and I was running around with my USB trying to have people listen to my music. One person did. Her name's Carly, and she literally had told me, like, I had no idea what I'm doing, but I can try ask around if you can get any sessions. And she let me come up to London and stay with her for a couple of days, and I had my first session ever in my whole life.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, this is actually a job. And then I started stalking every writer in the world, trying to message people. I have messaged some incredible musicians, and I'm so grateful because there's two who might not even remember me now, but like two people who answered my emails, and they gave me the belief and motivation to actually pursue it. I remember sending my music to MNEK's demo mail, and he answered telling me, "Good job, like you got something good going on here." And I did the same with Ian Kirkpatrick, who's a producer in America, who we never spoke again after the first email, but his reaction to the songs was, "These are good, you should work on them, there's something here." And those two emails literally gave me the motivation to pack up my bags, send an email to Sigala, and show up to the studio, January 2019. I sold all my belongings, I sold my car, I saved up some money at work, and I told my mum 2 weeks before, and I said, I can't take this life anymore. Like I want to try. I can't live knowing that I have this dream to do music and not do it. So I literally told my mom 2 weeks before, and I said, I'm moving to London in 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
And I showed up to my meeting with Sigala because I had messaged him on Instagram and a Q&A, and I showed him my music, and he was like, "Oh man, he's really good. We should meet." But obviously he was finishing his album, and we got lost in the emails. I don't blame him. When you're finishing an album, the last thing you have on your mind is to go through your emails every day and make sure you're answering every message you get. But then luckily a friend of mine, Emma, had been working with him on a tour, and she reminded him of my music being sent. Fast forward a couple of hours after she reminded him, he texted me and said, "Oh my God, I totally forgot about you." And it's like, I'm going to CC my managers in to make sure we have an actual date. And then his managers answered me like an hour later saying, "Can you do the 21st of January?" I'm like, okay, 19th, I'm flying up. 20th, I find a place to live. 21st, I go to the meeting. That was my plan. And I literally was moving on the day I was going to the meeting. So I had all my luggages. So when I went and knocked on his door for the meeting, he's like, "Why do you have 3 luggages with you and a backpack?"
You're like, I'm moving in.
I was like, "I moved here for you, man. I'm going to rent a house today. I moved to London today." And I saw his face. He felt a bit guilty in a way, or shocked, because he's like, "You do know this is a meeting, right?" And the first thing I did, I was so desperate to get his attention. I jumped on the piano, tried to write him a song. Literally,
Wow,
like,
that's bold. That's real
I was
bold.
like, "Yeah, I can do Piano House," because he's an incredible DJ, and he's mostly known for his Piano House. I was like, "I can do Piano House." Da, 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 da. And he was like, calm down, sit down, relax. I want to know who you are, where you came from." And I just told him the whole story. Like, "You are mad." But like, I guess and this is why he has a special place in my heart, because he understood the crazy I was, and he didn't tell me like, "This guy's too weird, flew here, I'm out." He's like, "Okay, now that he's here, let's give him a shot." And
well, he probably saw the heart and the dedication that you had, and like you were
he had his
all
own
in on it,
struggles
right?
when he was trying to get in the industry. So, and I shout out Bruce from here. Like, he had his own struggles. So I think we bonded over the fact that we both had a struggling moment, and not the easiest way in. Like, I knew nobody in London. I had a second cousin living here.
That was it.
I knew nobody else.
Wow.
I want to live in this like illegally house. I shouldn't be saying it, but I said it anyway. It wasn't a house which had internet. It had no lights in half the house. It was cold. The people I live with, I don't know them. They were scary. I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't welcoming at all. And I felt like I was a mummy's boy at home. I had everything I needed. My mum used to give me everything I ever asked for. To go from that to being a nobody I'm like a proper nobody, meaning not even my friends know me. Like having nowhere to go, no one to call, just living alone in an attic in North London. That was like
Wow.
I told myself then, like, I need this.
Right.
I need
Right.
this. Like, this is what I need to do. And honestly, I said, I'm nowhere yet. Like, I don't like to speak like talking about what happened, because I don't feel like in the grand things, like the grand mix of things, when you look
Yeah.
around, I don't say I've accomplished stuff. Like, if I died tomorrow, people are going to forget anyway. They're not going to think about all the little songs I have out, and the collaborations I have. I feel like I'm at the very beginning of my career. However, people might see it at home or here, I'm just so grateful that I'm doing what I'm doing. I love writing songs. I've had the opportunity to write with like a band like The Script as my first ever cut. That was my first song, was The Script, and then the album went #1. In fact, I struggle with this. I don't ever get plaques of stuff
Uh-huh.
I've written, because I don't feel like it's mine.
Really? I have one plaque, and it's and I
Like,
loved it.
I never got the number one thing as a script, even though it was my first cut and it was #1 album with like 100,000 sales. And I had one
Yeah.
song on the album. I didn't feel like it was my #1, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I mean, kind of. I guess it's because you weren't the performer, you were just a
Yeah,
songwriter?
exactly.
Okay.
And even when um Sigala's song Melody went top 10 on the Capitol charts.
Yeah.
Mimi Webb's last album just now was in the top 10 just a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
Obvi-
you wrote on that album as well, right?
yeah, I wrote "See You Soon" on her debut album, which
Wow.
I'm so proud of Mimi. Me and Mimi have written songs for the past 4 or 5 years together, and I remember,
Really?
yeah, we have so many songs together. So
That's
I wrote "I'll
incredible.
Break My Heart Again" for her, was the second ever single, and I wrote this one.
That's awesome. I interviewed her before. I mean, she had just kind of was just kind of breaking. She hadn't quite got there yet. Like she had just made a TikTok. Like she was telling me about how she had just met with like Charlie D'Amelio and they made her TikTok account together. And then now she's gigantic. I mean, she has so many hits out and she's doing so well. So it's really cool to see some of the like an artist like
But
her
definitely,
really blow
like
up.
I'm just so grateful that I get it right with people like Martin, especially. Martin has changed my life as well. Martin and I have written if I tell the amount of songs we have together in the pipeline we're working on, there's like album worth of songs we work together.
Wow.
And like he gave me a platform. I mean, obviously, my love to Polydor is endless as well, because when they heard a demo of mine, I had maybe 1,000 followers on Instagram, which are all my mates in Malta, and I sent them "True Love," a song which hasn't come out yet. I don't know what is happening with it, but it's a song I showed them in the early days of my career, and they offered me a record deal
Oh my
just off the back
gosh.
of that song. And back then, I didn't even want to be an artist. I was like, I just want to be a writer. And so now, like, thanks to all these people and playing their parts, I feel like they've morphed me into wanting this. I feel like now when I write songs from my heart, and they mean so much to me, I have to release them because I feel like they're a part of me.
Mhm.
But yeah, going back to Martin, Martin was a massive, massive instrumental key figure in my career. He's given me belief and hope in my music. We're working on so many projects which I can't talk about publicly, but the amount of songs we're working on and are ridiculous. And even he's an incredible musician. People think that these producers, even Sigala, for example, Sigala's an incredible actual musician. And
Right.
like I hate labels, like not record labels. I hate labels meaning
Yeah,
I
like
hate,
labeling someone, oh, this is
yeah,
just a
like
DJ.
even in like I believe in collaboration. That's why like Starlight means so much to me, because I believe that you can work with so many people. You should release as much music as possible and just keep on releasing music which means something to you, and then you find your own special place in this industry and in this world, which like I feel like when I look back, I'm so grateful for the past year, especially and everything which has happened. And to me, it's like, I want to keep on doing exactly what I've been doing, is appreciating everything and taking any opportunity which comes. Like,
Mhm.
oh, I'm on a podcast. I'm on. Let's go. Let's do it. Thank you so much.
That's no, what you're doing is incredible, especially with this new EP. So this is your debut EP. You've been doing this for a
Yes.
while, though. I mean, you've written, like we said, Mimi Webb, the script, like you've done this. You've been in the industry, but now you're putting out a body of work, really as your debut as what an artist, right?
It's the very, very beginning. I
Yes.
I didn't even put, like, I didn't even want to make it a big thing, like when I released it, because like I just wanted to say, like, I've written so many more songs since I've written my first EP.
Mhm.
But I feel like I needed to show the world what I really started with. And these are the songs which I've written over the past 2 years, which I've which made me want to become an artist. And I feel like that's really important, because Heaven Like Mine and Vertigo especially were those songs where I said, man, these are songs which I feel are part of me. So I felt like I needed to show the world these songs. We have so many new songs coming, but like I felt like this EP holds a special place in my heart and needed to be out in the world. And
Mhm.
the reaction has been incredible. So the fact that we're getting all the support and people sending their well wishes and loving the music is just a bonus. The
Mhm.
fact that we were able to release the debut EP, it for me it's the start, and it gives me the opportunity to call it the start rather than think about it. It's like, this is the debut. This is what's making us launch into the big world, which is scary and incredible and beautiful at the same time. You know, it's me putting me is the first time I'm putting myself out there,
Mhm.
and I love every song on it, and every song is an honest recount of how I felt back then, and sometimes how I feel now, and it's as long as it's honest and it's from my heart, I feel good, and I feel like I can let it go and let the people hear what I've been wanting to say for so long.
What with that, like when you write a song, were these songs that you knew were going to be true to you and you wanted to release as, under your own
Once
name?
it's more like when you start writing, when you're on the piano and you realize what you're saying is like, man, this feels real to me. This feels like it's a song I need to speak about. This is about me and my girlfriend's relationship. This is
Mhm.
about when I was so low. I was at one of my lowest points, and my head was spinning. Vertigo was when I was at one of my lowest. You know, that was when my anxiety was through the roof. I was literally contemplating like not coming back to London.
Wow.
Like, and even there's certain moments which I haven't ever spoken about publicly because it affects me. But like, even before Starlight came out, and now like we have 30 or 40 million streams all over the platforms of my music in a year, like, which I think is ridiculous. And I don't even feel like it's me. Like, it's all because of the other ones who are part of the songs. I'm just the singer. But like right before everything happened, and like people started to listen to my music more, I was at my lowest. I was like, I wouldn't say like I was at the lowest where I was contemplating stuff I shouldn't be contemplating, but I
Mhm.
was in a dark place where it was. I'm one of the. I believe in love. I believe in happiness. I believe in positivity. I'm an optimist. I'm not a pessimist, and I'd like to make everyone around me feel good about themselves. But for that very first time in my life, I was in bed for a week, and I was thinking
Wow.
about things I didn't want to think about. I wasn't leaving my room. I
Mhm.
was contemplating stopping music because I felt like I did not know what I was doing. Like,
Wow.
and right then, 3 days later, Martin, this guy, discovered me and bought me a flight to his house.
Wow.
And now, 3 days later, it was like literally, I was literally telling myself, there's nothing for me to achieve. I'm done. I don't think I
Yeah.
can do it anymore. 3 days later, I get a call. You're flying there tomorrow night, and now we're writing songs which I can't say anything yet, but we're writing some ridiculous
Yeah.
records, and even the millions of people we've touched with this music, with these songs already. It's like this time last year, I was shaking. Like I was scared to leave. I was ashamed. I felt like I had nothing going for myself. I felt like I felt like I wasn't fulfilling my dream. I wasn't making anyone proud. It's weird when I talk about it now because I made my dad cry. My dad tells me I'm proud of you. And to me, my dad telling me I'm proud of you is like, means more than anything. I'd rather have my dad tell me that than have like millions of plays. I swear.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I was going to ask you about your dad because he was a musician and he was trying to get the record label deal and he was pounding on doors in London. And you've accomplished that.
It even got us closer. I say me and my dad now and my mum, but me like I love both of them so much. But with my dad, I feel like he's living my dream, his dream.
Yeah, that's incredible.
And that has got us closer because he's the first person I call. He's sending me advice on songs and records. I like this, I like that. Like I show him songs I'm writing for artists. I'm writing songs with people he loved, you know, in his days. It's like, and meeting people who knows, like who are related to people he loves back in the 80s. And like I feel like we have a connection now, you know. We have a connection which he appreciates, and he must feel something similar to what I'm feeling right now. You know, we always say, like, I remember my mate, who my A&R at my label who had signed me, when I initially signed, had told me, like, Shaun, go for this, because you're a Maltese ex-real estate agent who moved to London with his luggages. You are not meant to happen. Like people in this industry sometimes don't get these chances. Go for it. Don't think about it twice. Like, and he was so right. Like these things don't happen. You never move country, find people who actually love you and appreciate you and help you out. Like I feel like my story has given me faith in humanity again, because I've seen so many stories where you move to a country and you're basically just left out of the circle because you're not from there. But in my instance, they took me in, and I now have a family here. I know who to call when I'm like down, when I need help. And I even pranked my friend yesterday. I pranked Bruce. I said, call me back. It's like I'm in a meeting. I'm like, it's life or death. But in reality, I wanted to show him chords. I wrote for him, and he called me. He called me though, and he's like, he swerved me. He's like, you got one left for these calls, but I'm like, I appreciate you actually calling.
Yeah, that means a lot. That's huge.
Yeah, it's in life, we need to appreciate the little things. I'm in love with my girlfriend. I say this so much. I think she's one of the reasons. She's such a stable person, and I'm such a bundle of energy, crazy guy who's overthinking, panicking, happy and sad. That having somebody so solid and like so grounded keeps me in line and keeps me safe, keeps me like protected.
Right.
Because like there are moments when one comment or one like one word or one opinion can just ruin me.
Right. And it's interesting, amongst probably millions of positive comments. Like I do the same thing. You're just obsessed over the one negative.
Literally. And so for me, and it's something which I feel like we need to work on, because I stress about it so much. Like mental health is something which should never be taken lightly. And especially even to people who do comment, like, be careful what you say, because you never know what a person's going through. You never know what a person's feeling. And I feel like we lose too many incredible people every day in this world due to comments, due to words being said, and due to people's thoughts and worries and nightmares being left unheard. And people need to be taken care of and loved, and we need to spread more positivity in this world. Like the world needs it right now, especially, you know, like I want our world to progress. I want love, I want happiness, I want people to come together rather than people to separate. And I think this needs to be implemented on all levels. even when somebody releases music, it's art, it's beautiful, it's great, you know. It's we should never judge art, if that makes any sense. I find it very hard when somebody sends me a song and asks me to critique it, because I say to myself, I have no right to judge this person's creation.
Yeah.
If that makes
I mean,
sense.
it's all subjective. And if you really think about it, like you could play a song and I could be like, this is the best song I've ever heard. And you can be like, I could take it or leave it. Right.
Exactly.
So, well, Shaun, thank you so much, man, for doing this. I really appreciate your time today. Your story is so inspiring. I love what you're doing, and I can't wait to hear these songs that you've been kind of teasing throughout this as well, man. I appreciate your time.
I really appreciate you inviting me on here. I feel like this has been helpful for me to speak and share my thoughts. So thank you so much for letting me speak today
Of course.
Conversation. I really appreciate it, and I wish you nothing but the best.
Oh, I appreciate
it to meet you in person in Malta.
Yeah, Malta. I'm coming. But I have one more question before I let you go. I want to know if you have, and you've kind of answered this throughout the whole thing because you just haven't inspired.
I speak too much. I know. I can't.
No. That's That's the whole point of this podcast is hearing your story and hearing it from you and hearing what you have to say, because no one cares what I'm saying. It's all about you and your music journey. But I want to know if you have any advice for aspiring artists.
If you believe that you can do anything, if you can believe you can sing, you can play the piano, write a song, play the guitar, play the cello, anything, even out of music, like all you need to do is believe. All you need to believe is that you can do it. You don't need anyone else's validation. Now, validation is always what everyone seeks. We know it. It happens day in, day out. Oh, if that guy likes my song, isn't it make me feel great? It happens to everyone, but don't let people bring you down. Don't let people tell you you can't do something. I was told I was going to amount to nothing in life. At school, at university, I was told I was a joker. I was always making noises in class. I was going to be a nobody. And I think that can hurt people, because it's not fair to say that, you know. It's not fair to call anyone a nobody or anything, you know. So don't let anyone tell you what you can or what you can't be. You just need to believe it, and you're halfway there.